and today I'm going to be teaching you how to do a handstand. And I get this question a lot in my yoga classes and on Instagram and stuff like that. So I just figured I'd make a video. And today you might not get this more advanced pose, but it's okay because it is a journey. So if you just come to your mat every day, maybe do a handstand for like 60 seconds, you'll just get stronger and hopefully find this pose. So let's go ahead and get started. First, very first thing, we're going to start in Tadasana standing pose. So here, we're going to just stand here, but actually have energy through the whole body. So here, starting to lift up from the inner and outer arches of the feet. As we internally rotate the thighs towards the back of the room, which then you can see. So as we internally rotate the thighs, we get this arching thing happening. If you internally rotate really much, like as far as you can extremely, then you're gonna draw the tailbone down, but still internally rotate the thighs. So then you're standing upright. Collarbones broad, engaging the core. I like to say if you can do this pose, you can do all of the others. Beautiful. Okay, so you're going to keep this in mind for the alignment from headstand. So you want to basically be in Tadasana when you're in headstand. So from that, we're going to go right into downward dog on muka Vinyasa. So here, your inverted V shape, you're releasing your head and neck, your hands are shoulder distance, your feet are hip, and you're gazing in between the upper inner thighs. Okay, cool. So then we're going to gaze in between our fingertips, come onto our forearms, and it's okay to interlace them. And then we're just going to walk the feet in as much as possible. So you're just building that upper arm strength. And then walk them back out. Come back onto the palms. And we're going to start with some tuck jumps. So this is how I originally learned how to get into handstand. And what we want here is we want to take all of our energy, kick up, so that one day you can come over your shoulder head's over your wrist and find that sweet spot so you can stay up in the air. So here we're going to come from down dog, take a big inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, bend in the knees, and then lift and tuck jump. So do about 10 of those. So you're just going to keep inhaling, exhaling, bending the knees, coming on over to find your sweet spot. And eventually, you'll be able to hold it for longer periods of time. So then you can stay up and balance between your palms and your fingers. Awesome. Okay, so now you have a trick of tuck jumps, and you can work on that and develop that. And I'm also going to show you the actions of your shoulder girdle, because if you kind of like, I'll just show you for a second. Let's do it like sideways so you can see. So if you're doing a handstand and your energy is lifted and then you drop your shoulder girdle, it could be really bad. So we want to kind of like lift up and energize through the arms. So like, see, I can balance here. Let's see if I can do a normal handstand and show you how your shoulder girdle is affected if you like kind of drop it and kind of versus lifting up. So then I'm lifting, and then I'm dropping, and then it's really hard to stay up. I think that was a good representation because that was really hard for me the second I dropped it. Now you have your tuck jumps, and then you know that you distribute the weight between the palms and the fingertips to stay up once you figure that out, and that sweet spot between your shoulder heads over your wrists. And then you also know that your shoulder girdle is, so like if you're here in Tadasana, it's basically like lifting up, but like still like releasing, but like you're just kind of lifting and energizing through the arms versus like shrinking. So this is lifting through your shoulder girdle. You're not shrinking, lifting. So I think that's a good tip. So now we're going to start with our handstand. So when we practice with the wall, when you first start, I would suggest doing this, I think this is called L stand. For L stand, we want to kind of take our booty back. So we have our like booty over our heels, and then we have our hands out in front of us so that we can see how far away we are from the wall. And then we're going to just replace. So you look down at your feet, switch, so your hands are going where your feet are, and then you're going to walk your way up the wall so that you can do, I think this is called puppy dog. So your hands, this might be a little too close. Yeah, you want your hands, shoulder heads over wrists. So you're feeling basically what it would be like in a handstand. And then one day you can play around and lift one leg and lift the other and go into a handstand. So this is a variation. I'm just playing my legs, but you get the picture that you can go into other things. Okay, so that was great. That now we have puppy dog and L stand to go into full handstand. So I'm going to show you how to go into full handstand. By the way, I've learned a lot of these tips from my 200-hour teacher training and like other mentors and things like that. So I'm thankful for them and being taught by them, but I'm just sharing what I know. Okay, so this is what I learned in teacher training. And so you go from down dog, your inverted V shape, and then you're going to take your dominant leg. So mine is my right, and I'm going to try to take it, maybe a third of the way or halfway. I like to say halfway because that's more close by than like, maybe it is a third. But we're just going to take it in, like closer into the chest, like my thighs or my ribs are. And my bent knee, that dominant leg, is my motor. It's what's going to get me up off of the ground. And this is my leader. So this is just guiding me up. So what I do with that is we're going to kick. So we're going to bend deeply with the right knee. So take a big inhale, exhale, bend, and lift. So you keep doing that and just kicking up until one day you can engage everything in balance. So now I've taught you how to kick up. I've taught you how to get over your shoulder heads, over your wrists. There's a lot of aspects that go into your handstand practice. I think one of them is keeping your yoga practice active and doing yoga often so that you can engage the right muscles to do this pose. Yeah, the other thing about it is the palms and the fingers. That's mainly the reason why I stay up so long in a handstand. So if we go into a handstand, you'll be able to see me balance back and forth between my fingers and my palms. And that's what keeps me upright. Like I'm also breathing, but that's key. I can stay up so long because I'm balancing back and forth. If I was only my fingertips, I'm gonna go forward and that would not be good. But if I did go forward, there's proper ways to get out of things. So like If I'm going forward, I can go into a bridge. If I'm going back, just step back. If I feel like I'm falling out, sometimes I do where I just go over to the side, like a cartwheel or something. There is a lot of things that you could do for handstand, and I think that's why it's coveted, because it's like all of the factors of yoga are coming together and you're able to do this awesome advanced pose. But what other poses? What other things like I would suggest is your gaze. In yoga it's called your drishti. I would assume that some people's gaze, they look forward, or normal Tadasana, like you're gazing forward. So like if I were standing, they like gaze in front or like behind them. And that's like really hard. I think in like the most advanced yogis practice, they can play around with the gaze by looking back. But to learn, gaze where you're in between where your fingers are. And some people gaze when they're starting out, which is really hard to gaze in front of you. So like that, it's just really hard. So I would suggest keeping your head like in between the fingertips, gazing and breathing, so you can focus in and be able to hold it and not have this just wonky like arch of the neck, or like this really this contraction of the head. So that is all of the tips that I know to get your handstand, and I just would say one of the biggest things is to keep trying and to do it continually, because your body is going to remember. Your body remembers more than you think. And so every time I was doing tuck jumps for, I guess a few weeks or a few months, it was just that memory of, one time I got here before. Wow, that feels good. And then I would learn how to engage my palms and my fingers, and things would just begin to work together. And so don't be discouraged. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't be discouraged. Just keep trying and keep the persistence and the passion for yoga, because there's a reason you watch this video. Like, you want to do a handstand, you want to get better, and you just need to acknowledge that and keep trying. Because if you just say, I want to do a handstand and put it on your bucket list, you're not going to get anywhere, because you're not actively pursuing it and putting that out into the universe. So I just wish you guys the best of luck. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please give it a like. Comment if you want more yoga related videos, because I would love to do that. I teach 5 times a week at the University of Kentucky, and I'll put my schedule below if you'd like to come to a class. And yeah, I really hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you later. Bye guys!